to another massive freezer cooking extravaganza. That's right, we are doing at least somewhere around 25 freezer meals. You know, I have my hopes and dreams and I'm like, 25, how many will we really come in? Will it be 30? Will it be 24, 23 and a half? I don't know, but we got 20 pounds of ground beef here with our name on it. We got another 20 pounds of chicken over yonder in one of our big 30-quart mixing bowls. We're gonna make some big freezer meals happen. Now, these are healthy freezer meals, and these are from and inspired by the Trim Healthy Mama ladies, and this is, I have all of their cookbooks, but this Trim Healthy starter book, it's dog-eared, it's stained, it gives the whole plan in a nutshell, and it has been so helpful for me. Now, several of these recipes I have found linked online where the Trim Healthy Mama folks have shared them on their Facebook page over the years. There's also some blogs where I'll link for the recipes that I can find, but all of the recipes that we're doing in this video are also in this book. And if you're one of the ladies who has contacted me and who is interested in getting started on Trim Healthy Mama, this is the book that I say that you should start with. It gives the plan in a nutshell, it holds your hands, has lots of great recipes besides the 5 that we will be doing in this big freezer cooking video. And if you don't give a hoot about Trim Healthy Mama, I mean, that's just fine. Put that book over there, no big deal. These recipes are sugar-free, there's no white flour, several of them are dairy-free, or can be tweaked in different ways to meet different dietary needs. So even if you don't do Trim Healthy Mama, these are fantastic, healthy recipes to have in your freezer. Now, I personally have lost over 50 pounds. I got a bit of a weight loss journey that I've been journeying through, so I'll tell you my story real quick and we'll get cooking. Now, way back, you know, I do everything by the ages of my children. When my son Daniel was baby Daniel and I had really started to play around over here on YouTube, before I sold my popular blog and all of that, I bought the first Trim Healthy Mama book, which is like that thick. It's over 400 pages, I believe. But I was so burned out from growing my popular blog at the time, and I just needed like a little bit of a mama hobby. And I read that book like a novel. I loved it. And I put everything into practice over several weeks gently, and I did lose 40 pounds. And I have some very precious YouTube videos that are on this channel still where I'm sharing about that Trim Healthy Mama plan originally and that 40 pounds I lost. And I actually started it during my pregnancy with Daniel, so I wasn't focused on weight loss. I was focused more on the habits, but I was able to continue it while I was breastfeeding him. And it gives a lot of good options for moms who are trying to eat healthy and make lifestyle choices and change the way that they eat or even the way that they feed their family. And it was good for me. And I learned so much reading that first book. It was like my best friend at the time. And again, I'll link some of those precious YouTube videos for you if I can dig deep enough in the archives to find them, but they're fun. And then as life progressed, we had a move. I sold that popular blog, which was super stressful. I had my 8th baby. I had a rodeo. I had some high stress going on. And I had several years where I just fell off the THM wagon. It happens, that's life. That's not THM's fault. And then fast forward to 2021 when I was pregnant with Tobin, who is now almost 3. I had, say it with me friends if you've been around here a while, I had an insane kidney infection, off the charts E. coli, ended up having a kidney surgery, a whole other rodeo, right? I sent a friend a meme today and that meme said, I should have taken more notes during my first rodeo, and that was pretty much it. So during that time though, that gets me back to my little THM journey. As I sat here for months on the blue couch in what used to be that baby kitchen area in this house, I was struggling and I was like, okay, I can't do much, I can't move much, and I have to have this baby, and I had things I wanted to change. And so even though I owned all the other THM books, that's when I ordered this one. So I've had it for 3 years now, actually, because I ordered it January 2021. It is now February 2024, and Tobin is about to be 3 next month. Okay, the beat goes on, right? So I ordered this book, and since it had been several years for me, again, while my body was being just racked with E. coli, and I was on so many different antibiotics and in and out of the hospital. You remember, you can go watch those videos too. It was a horrible, horrible time for me physically. I read this book. Hold on here. I underlined the very basic little info. Look, S meals, up to 10 grams of net carbs with no limits on fats. Don't count carbs in your non-starchy vegetables, okay? And E meals, up to 45 grams of net carbs and 5 grams of fat. And those are the two kind of meals that you can rotate back and forth from. Again, this book, I just read it. I didn't do the 400-page book. I just did this easy little starter book because that's what I needed. And in January 2021, so it's been 3 years now, I have been working Trim Healthy Mama again. Now, my weight loss has been in more recent months, and of course that is because 2021, all the kidney stuff I just mentioned, and then having Tobin, and then being a breastfeeding mom for a very long time. So that first year and a half between having Tobin and continuing to breastfeed him, still doing THM, the needle not moving, but healing my body in a lot of other ways. Again, I have to go by the ages of my children. When he was about a year and a half or so, the needle slowly started to move. Over about a year, I lost about 25 pounds. And it was very slow and very gentle. And then last summer, 2023, I had several horrific things happen. And again, as I've shared a little, I wouldn't wish any of those horrid things on my worst enemies. However, in coping, I really dialed in and stuck to this little book here, stuck to the Trim Healthy Mama plan in general. And I eat things outside of this book. Again, this book's just a big help. And I also personally, again, as a coping mechanism that is healthy and approved by my doctors and all of that, started large amounts of walking. And then in November, I transitioned to running. And now I've been running 5Ks and 10Ks, and I'm working with a running coach and all of that. So it's been a whole journey. But even though I have a lot of movement for my body now between the walking and the running and the movement, THM is the food that I put in my mouth. Every meal is grounded in protein, and I either have a meal that is protein and healthy fats, or it's a meal that's protein and healthy carbs. And of course, midsummer, when I had the miscarriage and all of that, I had gained at least another 10 pounds of that 25 that I had originally lost gently over a year. Okay, so it's 53 pounds total. I lost 25 pounds over a year, but I gained about 10 of those pounds back last summer. So between really late August to now in February, I've lost another 38 pounds. That brings everything to 53 pounds total. I'm not yet at my personal goal weight, but I'll be sharing different aspects of that journey with you as time goes on. I just wanted to share this story, give a bit of an update as far as the running questions and the exercise and movement questions. I do share little reels and little tidbits about that over on my Instagram. If you don't follow me over there already, it's at Jamerrill Stewart. I'll share my time. I'm not super fast, but as I like to say, we're doing it. And I love it, and I love the free drugs that are endorphins. Endorphins are my favorite. And it's so good for my mental health and all the things. Which brings me back to our boatload of ground beef. We're gonna do several Trim Healthy Mama recipes with ground beef and also with chicken. And we're going to do a THM dessert in this video. And these I'll be doing them so that they're freezer friendly. I will be doing a lot of Mega Mama math on everything. So I'm not doing, 2 pounds of ground beef in a recipe. I'll be doing 5 or 6 or so. We'll break it all down, we'll make it happen, but I just wanted to answer your questions and give you kind of an update before we get started, because I do plan to do more Trim Healthy Mama and healthy freezer meals and meal prep videos over on this channel, so it just gives you a base for what I'm springing from. Also over in my shop at shop.largefamilytable.com, I have several sugar-free baking guides and also low-carb freezer meals and such that are not Trim Healthy Mama approved. These people don't know me, but many of those recipes I swing as an S meal, which again is the protein with the healthy fats. Okay, okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on why I love the Trim Healthy Mama, and let's get cooking. So the big healthy freezer meals that we are doing in this video are coming from this Trim Healthy starter book, but I do have links for several of them from the Trim Healthy Mama folks and from some other blogs that I will link down in the description below, and I will also link this Trim Healthy starter book for you down in the description too. So the healthy recipes that we are doing is a recipe that they call Cowboy Grub, which we're gonna do a ×5 version of that recipe. So that will be 5 freezer meals from that. We will be doing another one called Chicken Fried Double Rice. We're gonna do Pearl's Marvelous Meatloaf. We're gonna also do their Cinnabon Cake. We're gonna do the Dreamy Chicken Lazone. We're also gonna do their Queso Chicken Bake. And again, all of these I'm at least ×5ing the recipes, because if we're doing it, we're doing it. We're getting a lot of freezer meals in the freezer. Alrighty, so I just went down to the basement, came back up, brought our supplies up. I'm just gonna move that ground beef over for right now. And I've got the 5 pounds of ground beef that we're gonna cook up to do a ×5 batch of this recipe. And here's the other ingredients. They have diced tomatoes, or if you want to use like Rotel style tomatoes with green chilies. These are just regular diced tomatoes. It also calls for 1 cup of brown rice, and I need 5 cups of brown rice. And I don't have any brown rice in this house right now other than my freeze-dried brown rice from Thrive Life. So we're going to go ahead and use this, which requires, let's see, on the back here it says cook 1 cup of rice with 1 cup of water and a ½ teaspoon of salt. Simmer covered for 8 minutes. Let's stand for 5 minutes, so we will get that going. And this has a shelf life of 7 years, also gluten-free, so we will be using that. And another thing it calls for is veggie blend, which you can get that in the freezer section, like even at Walmart, and it's usually just celery, onions, and peppers, and I don't have any veggie blend, but hey look, I've got celery, onions, and peppers, so we're gonna be adding that in. It also calls for some pinto beans, and we have some home canned pinto beans. Also calls for corn, and we have home canned corn, and we'll be using garlic powder and cumin and chili powder. And this Cowboy Grub, you can eat it in a bowl and top it with a dollop of Greek yogurt. You can also add a few of those blue corn chips. And in the recipe that I'm gonna link, they also have some other suggestions on ways you can eat it. And they call this an e-meal, which yet again is anchored in protein with some healthy carbs and minimal fats. But we're gonna jump in here and get the meat cooking. Once I get some scissors and we can get into our packs here. And with this particular meal, we'll just, honestly, I'll probably rinse the ground beef. Although the ground beef is really lean already because it is grass-fed and ground-finished. It's from the local J&L Green Farm, where I do like to buy the farm-raised meat here locally in the Shenandoah Valley. And in cooking this particular meat from their farm, I don't usually find that it has a lot of grease on it. But because it is an e-meal, it's just a little thing that I'm doing, I will rinse it, and that is okay. You can also use lean turkey with this. Yeah, they say also lean turkey works. Alrighty, so I got our precious little baby pot for our 5 cups of rice. Get that done. One of the big pots out of the way. Okay, so now we'll get our little bit of water in our precious little pot here. Not using the pot filler with this little amount. And then we're just gonna use this rice, but I will get the heat going. There we go. Usually in long-term food storage anyway, brown rice, like now I'm like, are the heat waves letting this video show up? Brown white rice doesn't last as long as white rice. We can do tonight. I know I got water running behind me. I'm defrosting some chicken just quickly to get it out of the bag. And we are going to, excuse me, I was eating ground beef before I started filming. We are going to get that chicken cooking in the Instant Pot just to prep it for some of these chicken recipes that we'll be working on tomorrow, and honestly probably the next day too, just picking our way through this big healthy freezer cooking time. And this ground beef, like I said, it has no grease dripping off of it at all. It's very lean, but I'm just going to rinse it quickly. That is something that the Trim Healthy Mama ladies suggest whenever you're doing your e-meals, if you're not cooking with turkey. If it's an S meal, which is the protein and the healthy fats, then it's all good. But we will just do what they say, because Pearl and Serene know. And then I also need to chop up the celery and onion and pepper and get that cooking also in this pan. So, be right back with that. Here's how the freeze-dried brown rice turned out. So now we're gonna saute up those vegetables and keep on going with this cowboy grub. Alrighty, so we have I did celery and red peppers and onions. I just cooked them in the same pan that we cooked the ground beef in. Since we're not adding a lot of fat to this Cowboy grub, I just put like a cup of water in here and let them soften, and we just cooked the water off. So now we are going to add in our cooked brown rice that we had from the Dive Market. I do have this heat turned off. As always, I'm like, oh, I hope I can fit this all in this pan. I might actually need my big red Dutch oven, and that's downstairs. Let's see, let me give it a couple stirs and see if we can make it. We need to add the ground beef and the tomatoes. Just 1 jar of corn and pinto beans. And again, this recipe, they have it over on the Trim Healthy Mama Facebook page, and that's what I'm linking you to, plus the Trim Healthy Starter book as well. That looks pretty. So here's how it is looking so far. But again, we're gonna fit in that rinsed ground beef. A few other little items there. But it does look nice and pretty. And then, as always, we'll encourage the ground beef, won't we? We'll say, come on, ground beef, you can do it. All right. And before I get stirring this, since we are going to fill it to the top per our usual, let's see if we can get our other items in, and then we'll do a one-time stirring situation. All right, so we're gonna add in our tomatoes. As we like to say, should have got a bigger boat, or we're gonna need a bigger boat, right? I think we can do it. These beans might try to get us. Let me drain them a little further. Oh yeah, this is total Jamerrill style, isn't it? Let me rinse my hands and we'll do our seasonings. Okay, it's like, what could go wrong? Nothing's going wrong here, nothing to see. And since I am mega multiplying their recipe, say 2 tablespoons of chili powder, so I need quite a bit more of that. Okay, I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of cumin. We're good, right? We're good. We're good. Everything's great. Nothing's on fire. It's all going to go great here. Okay, so 10 tablespoons of chili powder, nothing to see, nothing to see. We will do, looks like they've got, okay, so we will do 2 teaspoons of our Redmond salt. And that's me ad-libbing, not doing the exact math based on what I have. That seems pretty good. That looks like a teaspoon and a half of pepper. Okay, so then it's just a matter of us stirring this all together. It'll be okay, go slow. We might just have to go to a bowl, huh? Okay. Do it, we're patient, and we can persevere. Okay, we did it. We are the champions, right? This is our big mega pan of the THM Cowboy Grub. And so what they say in the starter book that I'm linking you to is that how their recipe is originally written, there's about 4 servings. So, and I have ×5 the recipe, so we're counting this at about 20 servings. And I'm counting this, I'm gonna put it in 5 separate freezer bags, and this will be 5 different freezer meals. Now obviously one of these meals with 4 servings is not feeding all of my folks, but for this mama, for me in particular, and my folks who would also like to have this, there will be the servings available. So we did it, and now I'm going to eat this for my dinner. Yay. And I took a bowl and put it in the microwave, but we are going to heat this through for the seasonings and everything to blend real nice. Just have to cook it. Turn that down a little lower. Clean up my tomato mess. Cook it low and slow. And just keep stirring it. Then it'll need to, of course, cool again. And it'll be tomorrow. There's my microwave saying my quick zapped microwave version is done. But it'll be tomorrow before we bag these up, and we will work through more recipes in this big freezer cooking project. Okay friends, well I am back. It is another day, and we have these 2 big containers of the THM Cowboy Grub, which has been mighty delicious. But I also have these new meal prep containers that I'm going to give a try. Now you may remember back, is it 5, 6 freezer cooking videos ago? I think it's a breakfast freezer meal video I did about a year ago. I used these style Rubbermaid containers, only they were smaller. If I would squat down here in my drawer, I have some, but anyway, they're not quite as big as this. And we prepped those omelets. You do peppers and shredded cheese and mushrooms and sliced onion, whatever you would like in an omelet in these little containers. And you could freeze it with the scrambled egg or just the components, and then add your eggs on the day that you microwave it. Anywho, those containers are pretty good. Most of them have made it. They are a little flimsier. Sometimes they crack in the process, sometimes they don't. They're supposed to be freezer safe and microwave reheat safe, and I mean, who knows if they lie to us, you just never know. But I thought for some of these meals that we're doing, I want to freeze them in smaller portions. I also got these, which I saved the box to show you. These are a little bit more spendy. I got 2 sets to give them a shot. These are also, let's see how they word it. There was some wording. Some wording on here. Well, it says airtight, leak proof. These also say microwave safe, reheat only, freezer safe, dishwasher top rack safe. So I'm gonna give these a try also. I additionally have glass meal prep containers, and you know, with my large freezer meal freezing in general, I always get glass dishes that are freezer safe and oven safe and all of that. However, I don't reheat things in these large glass containers directly from the freezer to the oven. I always have to plan ahead and grab the meal from the freezer the day before and get it defrosting in the refrigerator and reheat, you know, follow the directions such as that. But just want to let you know that the next party trick that we're doing here for our big freezer cooking video is with this Cowboy Grub, what is left of it, and I've been eating it and it has been delicious. I want to get this in the smaller storage containers, and then we're gonna get started with our next recipe. Some of these we will put in larger containers, and some of these we're gonna do like mama lunch containers, okay? Thinking about mama here, and whoever else would like them in the smaller container ready to go. So let's do this. So here I am using the new Rubbermaid Brilliance brand of food prep containers. This brand came with 2 300 milliliters or 1.3 cups containers, Also, it came with two 3.2 cups, which is 760 milliliters, and it has one 4.7 cups, which is 1.1 liters, and I got two of these sets. So I have a total of, let's explain this in Jamerrill language, two of the little bit bigger ones. And then I have four of the medium and four of the smaller ones. And so what I'm doing is I am putting this Cowboy Grub in as many of these containers as I possibly can. This is very delicious. Now, some of these, like the smaller containers, that's the 1.3 cups, I might pair that with a sweet potato. Or these larger ones, I might have half of it for lunch with maybe some chicken or some other kind of protein on the side if I wanted to, and then have the other half of it later. Or I might pair it with a salad, or, you know, it's kind of like choose your own adventure with lunches and meals, right? But now that I have this Cowboy Grub in these containers, it'll be easy for me to set out and then reheat and just keep on marching through my mama life. Alrighty, so here is how the Cowboy Grub turned out in these containers, and I'm not getting them down in the freezer yet. I'm just going to put these in my upstairs refrigerator for right now as we continue to prep food and get food in other containers throughout the day. But one down, and now we're going to move on to our next recipe. So next up, the next thing we need to do, I did not get that chicken cooked and prepped the other night like I wanted to, so we do need to get chicken in the Instant Pot, and then we might swirl over to work on those THM meatloaves while the chicken cooks, and then work through our chicken recipes. There's also some rice that we can go ahead and get cooking, and I'm still today using the freeze-dried brown rice, which worked great in this Cowboy Grub because that's what I have on hand. And I had these years ago back at the Forest House when we were doing freezer meals, and I would use them to do freezer meal soups, and these say on here microwave, freezer, and dishwasher safe. So I had just got one pack of these. We're not necessarily, who knows what, you know, doing soup in today's big freezer cooking video, but in freezer cooking I have planned coming up, we will be. And there also might be other recipes, like this Cowboy Grub could have gone in these containers too. We will use these as well. So getting back to that ground beef that we were defrosting the other day, and it has gone in one of my downstairs refrigerators, so that's part of how things work around here. Whenever, oh, and that has a nice little hole in it. Whenever I had a teenager get me the ground beef, they accidentally, I think they've grabbed 3 steaks here. So we will also meal prep those steaks. I got that smokeless griddle and air fryer food station situation from Costco. It was in my last Costco haul, and actually this afternoon I am having a teen get that out, get it fired up, test it out for us, see how that works. So I'm counting how many pounds of ground beef I actually have left here. I got 3 steaks, so we'll get those prepped, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pounds of ground beef here. And I need to do my meatloaf math as always, but I'm just gonna put these steaks in the refrigerator for when we get to the griddle. We won't be mad about that either. Okay, pushing up our sleeves, I'm gonna do some quick math on the recipes that I am doing. Again, I'm using this book, but I'm linking many of the recipes that they have publicly shared from their Facebook page down below. And okay, so the chicken fried double rice, that looked, let's see, that's, if you're using your book, that's on page 83. And, scratch my nose, excuse me. So we'll do 5 pounds of chicken breasts for that. We need to do 10 cups of cooked rice. And about 2.5 cups of frozen peas. And it calls for 10 to 12 ounces of riced cauliflower, so that's, of course, times 5 as well. Okay, that one's good, and I need to bring up, I have some cartons of egg whites downstairs. And then the next one that we're doing, the queso chicken bake, which that chicken is in the Instant Pot. That is on page 94 of your books, friends. And that calls for 2.5 cups of diced pre-cooked chicken. So that will be 12.5 cups for us. Okay, that's another one that needs brown rice. Okay, that'll be 2.5 cups of brown rice. Just doing our brown rice math so we can get the brown rice cooking. And let's look at another one. Okay, the dreamy chicken Lazone. I don't know how to say that. Tell me. L-O-Z, nope, L-A-Z-O-N-E. But it's S meal. It's on page 79 of our book. And I'm linking you to that one below. This one says 1.5 pounds of chicken tenderloins, thawed and frozen, which ours are chicken breasts. They're boneless, skinless, are thawed. And yeah, so that's 7.5 pounds, and I have a second 10-pound bag from good old Costco defrosted. So we'll be doing a little bit more than a ×5 batch with that because I have 10 pounds of chicken. We can handle it though. The other ingredients are things such as chicken broth and heavy cream and butter and spices and delicious things. And from their book, that's what the picture looks like of it. So if I had 10 pounds of this delicious chicken, book linked below, it prepped and ready to go in my freezer, me with other folks in different schedules and all things would definitely heat that up. And we might even end up having half of that for dinner tonight. Okay, I was thinking, you know, always prepping sweet potatoes around here. I will probably get a bag or 2 of sweet potatoes prepping as well because sweet potatoes go with everything. And let's see, then the other thing we were going to do is the meatloaf. I'm pretty sure, let's see what page. Okay, so the meatloaf from, again, following in your books, friends, from page 97, but they have several THM meatloaf recipes that they have shared online that I'll link to you below. And then I hope to do their Cinnabon cake, which is absolutely delicious. And there's a wonderful sugar-free icing that goes with that. So this meatloaf, I've already done it several times, and it calls for 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and I've already done the 10-pound version. And of course, we'll scooch it up a little bit because we have 13 pounds of defrosted ground beef, and meatloaf does not go to waste around here. And this recipe is interesting. Now, if you know anything about the THM ladies, yay, they love okra. They love frozen okra. They put it in smoothies, but don't knock it till you try it, okay? It's slimming and delicious, they say. So they put okra in a lot, and this meatloaf has frozen okra in it, but it probably has us putting it through the food processor. That's what they do a lot with the okra. Let me see here. Yes, add the contents of the food processor. So the goal is to not have any chunky pieces of okra. Process until completely broken down. So we'll be doing that. But I have hid okra in a great many things from their inspiration, and it's great. And even the smoothies with the okra, again, you don't taste the okra. It's ground down. But let me see if I can find, I'll tell you what page Because if you don't have this book yet, you're gonna get it, right? One of these smoothies. You know, so many. Their strawberry cheesecake shake is good. They have another one called a Frisky. I think, does that one have? That one does not have the okra. Oh, yes. The Choco Secret Big Boy Smoothie, and this is on page 172. I might even make this later. And it has a cup of diced frozen okra in it. But you wouldn't know, okay? It is delicious. I have a teen that really likes this too, and they get the supplies and make this. And then I have other kids. I've made this, you know, I've made my, oh, where's my blender? My blender pitcher full. No one knows. It's delicious. So, just another fun thing you can try when you get this book. And we're not doing all of these today, but I just want to like take you on the tour of some of my favorite things. So this they call a Whoop Whoop soup. I mean, great name. And it is delicious. It's got ground sausage in it, chicken broth, heavy cream, chopped spinach. It's delicious, and it's on page 117. Their white chicken chili on page 113 is delicious. So again, in this massive freezer cooking video and freezer cooking videos to follow, I'm going to be cooking through a lot of the recipes in this book, linking the book down below, and also linking you directly to their recipes as they're available online. It'll be so fun and so delicious, yay. So this is the next recipe that we are doing, and so it says it serves 4. We're doing basically a 6.5 time batch. So we will be getting about 26 servings from how I've multiplied and, you know, jacking up this delicious recipe. And again, it's on page 79 under their best starter skillet meals. So now we're going to mix our seasonings, and I've basically made everything into 2 tablespoons. And the mineral salt, I'm eyeballing, I do need the teaspoon for that. If we are lucky enough to find, here we go. I'm gonna add in my salt. We're gonna roll the chicken in these seasonings here in a few minutes. Well, there's 1.5 teaspoons. Let's do, here we go. Okay. And I'm going to do powder now. So I am measuring out the needed seasonings, and as I said, I'm doing 2 tablespoons of everything since we are doing 10 pounds of our boneless, skinless chicken breast. And I'm just measuring those out. Then we are going to whisk those together, and we will be rolling our chicken through it and then cooking it in a whole lot of butter. Lots of good, delicious things coming up, that's for sure. And here I'm just taking a minute to put these spices back, at least for the moment. I know we'll, you know, get this salt out and all these different seasonings for different recipes, but just trying to keep things a little tidy, I'll put them back for now. Alrighty, smells delicious already. Can't just eat the seasonings, but now we'll get our chicken ready. Alrighty, so still have what's left of this chicken in this mega bowl. I also had put this whole bowl in my refrigerator downstairs just to let the chicken continue to frost in, since I didn't get to prep it in the Instant Pot the other day, but that's okay. We're just moving right along. So I have this 10-pound bag of chicken open, got a few more supplies to get out, and then we're just going to cook this up in the 17-inch large cast iron, which doesn't do us wrong. These pans have been pretty good to us, and it'll be delicious. I'm excited to eat this like now. And then also, should be smart to prep that rice going to for the rice that we need. And I think we need a little bit bigger precious pot today. So get that going. Alrighty, we are going to get this party started. I still didn't do, how many cups did I say? I still didn't get this rice situation going. We best do that. is what I look for rice. Okay. 10 cups. And then, what's the other? 10 cups. 2.5. So we need 12. All right. Let's see if I have enough up here to do that. How many are you? Okay. I do have this pot filler. I could, let's see if I can catch it in time though. That's the question. I'm trying to measure out the exact water I need for this rice. Can I shut it off in time? Okay. We're not turning it on. There it is. There's a final spot. It's got to be turned off at the other spout when I'm really done using it, or it'll drip. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right, so all the multiplying math with this recipe, I'm going to see if I have that right. Yep. It's basically 2 sticks of butter now. So I'm going to get 1 stick, I almost said defrosted, melted in this pan. It's not frozen butter, but I do appreciate my frozen butter. Okay. Did send someone down to get me some more of the freeze-dried brown rice. And I should get a little measuring cup for my heavy cream. I'll just use this. Just have water in it, but that's okay. Put it, where can I put you? Okay. Melt, butter, melt. My little standing pad closer. There we go. So I'm thinking this may end up being 2 pans of 5 pounds each. When this rice is done, I could get a second pan going. That may be more what we do. And as I was sharing with y'all, I'm getting messages a lot of times over on IG and a lot of questions and comments about my weight loss in YouTube videos and such, and on Facebook and all around these interwebs. One question that I got yesterday, someone was asking me, well, in addition to running, what is it that I'm doing to lose weight? Come on in. Did you find some? Perfect, perfect. Just set them on the table, sweetie. Love it, thank you. You really hit the jackpot with those dried brown rice, huh? Anyway, sorry, I got distracted when someone brought me up more of the freeze-dried brown rice. And now my butter's melted. Can I tell a story? Can I answer a question and stir butter? I don't know. Okay. Remind me in a minute. We're going to get back to the IG question, and I'm going to answer it on here because it's one I've seen a lot. And the question is, besides running, what else am I doing? Am I eating any certain way? And obviously, you all know that it's the Trim Healthy Mama Plan. But the thing is, if you've been watching over here for years, as I've already shared in this video, I have been doing and loving the Trim Healthy Mama Plan. But there were several years, especially when I moved from the farmhouse to the forest house, where even if I was on it, I just wasn't losing weight. The weight wasn't budging. And also, as I've also shared in this video already, once I officially got back on in 2021, during the last part of my pregnancy with Tobin, and then I had a year or so where the weight didn't budge, but I was 100% on plan using the starter book. And so when I got that question, it just made me think about what I'm sharing in this video and my reasoning. Like, yeah, why wasn't I on it and I didn't lose weight? And my personal reason And what some women have found is that they have other things and issues in their body that they need to correct that are harming them, that are not helping them lose weight. It can be hormones. Depending on what your thyroid is doing, it may not be cooperating. For me, again, as I had shared, I had the high levels of E. coli in my body, and my body was so sick, and I was growing kidney stones and other adventures. And so I had to heal those parts of me, plus I was breastfeeding. And so as my body changed, as I was weaning Tobin and still continuing to be on plan, I saw that needle move and I lost the 25 pounds gently over about a year. And one thing that the Trim Healthy Mama sisters have always encouraged me on, and I say that, I don't really know them, okay, but just through reading their books and following them for years, you know, I'm a fan, is that our bodies are different and our journeys are different, and it's not a race. And for our body to release the weight, it's going to take time. And even in my own journey, I know that I have had noticeable weight loss that people are commenting on over the last 6 months. However, I've been on this journey. I'm just to the point in my weight loss where you can notice. You know, my face has dropped some weight. My pant size has gone down. I can now get in single-digit jeans. And those are huge milestones, and I'm proud of me, and I'm excited. These are great things. It's just, I've been on this journey slow and steady. And I lost another pound this week, you know, 1 whole pound. But that's a gentle pace. Some weeks I only lose half a pound. Some weeks the needle doesn't move at all. But I just continue on. And I'm after overall health. You know, I love seeing the scale go down. What mama doesn't love to see that number go down and reach those goals? But I'm on an overall health journey, which does include weight loss, but I'm healing many other parts of my body. I'm also wearing, it's up here, a continuous glucose monitor because, shoot, I'm talking and there's things I need to do. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, let's see if I can get, let me turn this heat down. Woo! I'm trying to teach my teens about cooking low and slow. Haha, take my own advice. My doctor is excellent, and they just wanted to make sure with all the things that are happening in my life and that I'm juggling and powering through, they just want to see, like, what does my blood sugar do when I have a stressful event, or when I have, you know, bad news, or it's a hard day, hard things I have to deal with that day. You know, I'm not Superwoman, I'm doing hard things. How is my body responding? I've only worn it for a week so far, but my blood sugar's been great. But I didn't have that data before, and I'm going to wear it. We change it every 14 days, and we're going to do it for at least 90 days. But that's just for us to go through a season of gathering that data, because my blood sugar alone, and here I am focused on the recipe, Jamerrill. My blood sugar alone can give my doctor a lot of good information on how my body's responding to stress and life and such. Okay, now, reading the book. Okay, we got the chicken going, so now we need broth, cream, remaining butter. Okay. I am reading a book here, excuse me. Heavy cream. So, this is me making it up. I'm looking at what they say, and I'm doing about half of my little bit more than, was it times 6.5 recipe? Stick with me, kids. It's always an adventure. Okay. Trying to do about half a cup of this heavy cream right now. Okay. And then for the broth, overall, if I was doing the whole 10 pounds of chicken, it'd be 5. I'm gonna do about 2.5 cups of broth. I was looking at this broth, poultry broth. We canned this in March of 2023, just, I guess, weird semi-poetic thoughts like, who knew what adventures this poultry broth was gonna see between then and there? Don't mind me. Weird deep thoughts with Jamerrill. Okay. Now there's a thickening agent that they use a lot. They call it glucky. It's like, can't say the word. Anyway, I don't have any of that, and they use that a lot. I feel like I do have it, I just can't put my hand on where I put it. So at the end, when we need to thicken, I'm going to use xanthan gum, which some people think is the devil and some people don't. It's just a natural thickening agent. You can get it from Bob's Bread Mill. I use it a lot as a natural thickener instead of cornstarch or something like that. It's also gluten-free. Anyway, choose your own adventure with that, but they call for glucky. Okay, so butter's melted, chicken, half seasonings, tenderloin, milk, juice heat, add chicken broth, cream, remaining butter. Once the butter's melted, oh, I need to add the remaining butter. Well, okay, our butter's gonna be a little bit of sliding scale too, because I still have more chicken here looking at me. Okay. Ouch. And it says to only flip the chicken once. And we're gonna be making this delicious thick sauce, which I'm excited. Okay, and it says add the chicken, cook for 6 minutes, turning once. I'm past that, but I'm gonna set my timer for probably 3 minutes here. And that's good. Okay, while we wait, I can add in more rice. And this does not go in this particular recipe, but we are prepping ahead. Oh, I used my heavy, is that for my heavy cream? Okay. Now I know we needed 12.5 cups of rice. My eyes have glazed over. I lost count at some point, but it'll be okay. I am piling up trash in this bowl. The chicken is in a separate bag though. Okay, so that chicken, I'm gonna flip it once. We're thickening it. That's all good. Chicken broth is good. I'm just thinking if I need to open my other can of broth. So here's how our chicken is looking right now. There's our rice doing its thing. So things are coming together. Here's my messy workstation, catching my trash, taking the chicken, rolling into the seasonings, cooking in the pan. So we'll finish this and we'll do our next batch. I can probably just set that aside and that rice will continue to cook and we'll get our second cast iron. Let's do that. quickly. Everything quickly, right? Broth. I'm always heavy cream. Almost tripped over my mat there. All right, so I'm going to do a half teaspoon of xanthan gum in this first pan. It thickens up pretty quickly, and you really don't need that much, even from me. Even I know this, so that's it. Timer back on for my other chicken. The cooking station from afar. So here's how things are going. That pan's done. This pan is finishing up. Still gonna add the xanthan gum to it here in a few minutes. Alrighty. My chicken trash thrown away. I have that big bowl filling up with water, soapy water. And now we're just gonna add our little half teaspoon of xanthan gum to this. And it says in the recipe it's not supposed to be a super thick sauce. It just helps the situation a little bit. I do have a few more little pieces of chicken that still need to go, so. And it's so good. I'm just eating a piece from the pan because it's that good. And it's hot, I don't care. And in other news, we are now finally opening this smokeless griddle air fryer. We got our book. It's gonna be put together. We're gonna do some meat grilling on it and see how it all works out. Alrighty, so I have these other Pyrex containers that I have bought. I have put leftovers in separate little portions in here. I haven't actually froze them, but many of these, let's see here, do not use in the oven, dishwasher top rack only, cover for refrigerator, freezer, or microwave use. So, no broiler, I think we're good. Anywho, I'm going to put chicken and sauce in different containers, and I'm using my canning spoon because this is what I washed off and still have available. Put some of the sauce in here. And so this would be great with like some cauli rice, just zucchini, or you know, my favorite, roasted radishes, or Brussels sprouts or broccoli. This is the protein ready to go. And so for an example on how I would use this, there's 4 pieces of chicken in here with the sauce. I would set this out from the freezer to the refrigerator to defrost, and then the following day I would have half of this for lunch with whatever accompanying side item I'd like, and I would have the other half for dinner, and that would be just fine for me. There we go, yay, freezer meals and meal prepping. I still have 4 small pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and cook up 2. We'll have everything out, yay. So here's how those last 3 pieces of chicken turned out, and I'm just going to freeze them and use them. and like it just fine. We're also doing those 3 accidentally defrosted steaks on this little grill over here that we're trying out too. So here's that set up. We got the little temperature probe in there. Okay, so don't tell me that I don't rest, because I do. I just sat down in my chair for over an hour with my feet up. Got in a little time vortex, and it was good. It was a nice rest. So now we are gonna do the chicken fried double rice. The first thing I'm gonna do, I got about 3 3/4 of liquid egg whites here. We're gonna get these cooking in the pan first. So the egg whites are done. We're gonna just let those set for a few minutes. I'm going to peel the carrots. We also have some sesame seed oil and liquid aminos. It calls for soy sauce, and this is a soy sauce alternative. Some garlic. We're gonna put some peas in there. This is gonna end up being about 2.5 cups of peas. And then yay for using my rice cauliflower. So we're using 5 bags of this, but right now we're gonna get these carrots prepped. So I'm going to heat some sesame oil in our pan. And of course, we're doing this, was this ×5, or we've mega multiplied this recipe, okay? So, where it calls for, yeah. It's good, stick with me, it's good, it's good. I did 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. It was saying 1.5 teaspoons, but we have multiplied by some number that we did previously, and so I'm winging it pretty decently per my usual. So we're gonna get these carrots in here, and then we're supposed to add in the riced cauliflower and the peas and garlic. Also saying green onions. I missed that. I don't have any green onions. We'll be okay. So. Pretty good. Alrighty. And for the peas, I'm doing about 2.5 cups here. Scissors. Scissors for everything. So during my little hour rest, you know, before I started this video, I cleaned the kitchen for an hour also. So the non-filmed energy, I was just tired doing that kitchen. So I thought it would only be a 15-minute rest though. That's okay. We have lots of things prepped and we are gonna keep on trucking. I did get some voiceover done though for some shorter videos while I was sitting. That was nice. Semi-productive rest, and then for a good half of it, I didn't really do much of anything, and that's also fun. I bet my kombucha. And I definitely see where this is going to overflow into both pans. I didn't finish washing my other one. So I've got the 2.5 cups of peas. We're gonna put those in. And Grub. Garlic in here. Get the garlic. Oh, we went with 3 tablespoons there. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get a good bit of this in this bowl, and then we are going to basically warm through that chicken that we already cooked a while ago in the Instant Pot in some sesame seed oil, and then we will combine it all back together. I just can't do both things in the pan, and I think we're able to keep this in one pan, so we are doing things. Wasn't sure, but we did. Oh, we have rice too. When do we add the rice? Okay, so the rice and the eggs and the soy sauce slash or liquid aminos we're gonna add to the end. So now it's the chicken, and we were doing 5 pounds of chicken, so let's get this pan going again. also scoop in our 10 cups of the cooked brown rice. Dump our egg whites into this bowl while we're doing this. They use a lot of egg whites, or they use egg whites instead of the full eggs in the E recipes, because the E meal recipes, if you're following that song or dance, are lower fat and medium healthy carbs. So they wouldn't have like a lot of egg yolks. And we're using a minimal amount of the sesame oil through a large recipe and all of those good things. We've also basically done half the rice is the cauliflower rice and then the other half is the brown rice. And again, this one is called egg fried double rice. Oh, the soy sauce. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add that to the chicken. How much was that? 3 tablespoons times 5. Okay, so 15 tablespoons is just under a full cup. Thank you, Googling and my calculator. So, how many ounces are you? Okay, well, basically half of this bottle. Let's eyeball it. 16-ounce bottle. Pretty good there. Okay. Yay. Yay, yay. And then we just need to add the contents of this bowl to this can, which, I don't know. Now I'm a little doubtful. So like we like to say, gonna need a bigger boat. I think we can make it. I think we're gonna do it. Just fine. We've done bigger, haven't we? I feel like I hear you saying, yes, we have. Are we that connected? Okay, I do need to hold on to the side of this now. Put my hand on the hip, I'll be stirring better. You think that's it? It's either that or hold the pan. Okay, we almost have it all in there. Yeah. Yay, we did it. Okay. And my burner's on low. We're just trying to blend it with all that liquid aminos in here now. I'm letting this cool here, but I've also come over to move my camera and taste test it. It's very good. This is gonna fall out of my mouth. I just know it will. So, I have to eat dinner, and we just finished this. So yay. Kids had cheeseburgers. Other food has been prepped. But now I'm going to have this chicken fried double rice. Sit down and look at the queso chicken bake recipe, which is next. Probably for 10 minutes, not an hour. And we'll keep cooking. Alrighty, so I'm gonna work on getting the chicken fried double rice, I think that's what they call it, again the book's not in front of me, in these containers, and I'm gonna wait a little bit before I put the lid on it. Yay, we did it. Again, with these, I would not defrost one and eat a whole bowl for a meal. I would have, this would basically be 2 meals with some additional on-plan side items that I have. Like I like to say, choose your own adventure, but I'm going to freeze them this way because this is very much how I like to eat, in having something that I can kind of repeat, you know, for lunch or dinner or any way I want to do it. And like I say, we're gonna put these lids on here shortly, and I'll get these in the refrigerator, and we are just gonna keep on trucking. Okay, friends, happy new day. We have some more massive, healthy freezer cooking to do this afternoon, and I have the slew of ingredients that we need. So we need to do the queso chicken bake, and as I was reading through that recipe again last night, I was like, oh, it is actually a bake. So we're going to mix the ingredients, get it in some 9x13 pans, get it in the oven. Now their recipe here that serves 4 is for an 8x8, but by the time I'm done with it, we will have multiple 9x13s, and it is a delicious, delicious recipe, and I will link as close as I can find to it online, and again, I will link the whole Trim Healthy Starter book in the comments. Not the comments, the description. What are we doing here, Jamerrill? We have that to do, and then we have this marvelous moist meatloaf. Now, with both of these recipes, we're gonna get our frozen okra action going on, okay? Again, I am not the full expert, but I do love this plan, and I just follow their directions and do what they say with the okra, and it all works out well in the end, and they say that it's slimming and healing and all of these wonderful descriptive words that I appreciate. So we're just gonna blend it up and do what they say. That's all that we're doing. So both of these call for okra, and then we still have a delicious dessert that does not have okra in it, but some of their desserts and things do. Okay, let's go. Okay. So I've got our cans of black beans draining. I'm gonna go get the can opener. Not pull it out on me, that's always nice. Dishwasher's loaded. I didn't. Helpful person did. Okay. And I got us a couple glass casserole pans. Again, I'm going to continue freezing these portions in the smaller containers. I'm not going to freeze them in these pans, but I'm going to bake the recipe in them. Sorry, there's some purple crayon on the island here. We'll just get that off while we can. This recipe also calls for light laughing cow cheese wedges. So we'll see how that works. I use this every day. There's a lot of different things I like to put it on. It also calls for, where are we, unsweetened almond milk. I think I am out of unsweetened almond milk, but we'll eyeball that and kind of figure it out as we go. We don't have time to play can opener. It's because I talked so nice about that can opener in one of the most recent videos, right? It's probably fine, but we want to do this cooking. Will you cooperate? Okay, this can opener wins today. The diced tomatoes in a dish and mix together. So we can do that. And again, I'm off the rails a bit here, but per our normal, right? I'm just gonna shred this chicken with my hands here for a minute. And this is about 5 pounds of chicken. Okay, so hey, the Mega Mama bowl had to come out for this. So we have the chicken, the beans, the corn, the tomatoes, the rice is what's missing. Let me grab that real quick. And bad on my part. When I woke up this morning after all of our cooking that we were doing yesterday, what was left of that rice that we prepped ahead for this recipe was on the stove. So, oops, didn't mean to do that, but I just made a little more. Now I have multiple spoons happening here. So we will mix this up, and then we're gonna get some okra and some other ingredients going in the Vitamix. Of course, their original recipe wasn't this big. So we will be eyeballing, we will be doing, I don't know what we're gonna do. Stick with me, kid, we're gonna figure it out. I did just go downstairs in my basement and check in my basement refrigerator for sugar-free almond milk, which is also just a staple if you're doing this actual plan there. Thoughts and words, I do have them. It'll come back. I'm out of sugar-free almond milk. Okay, so this would require how many? Well, 5 cups. So there's going to need to be some more liquid. I'm going to see how things look though once we get, it's the white laughing cow and some spices and the okra in the blender that we're supposed to, let's see their exact quote. It says blend the very soul so there are no bits of okra that can be seen. So blend the soul out of it. So we will follow those recipe directions. Those are my kind of recipe directions. We're gonna follow those. Sorry, I keep pushing these sleeves up. We're gonna blend the soul out of the okra. Just gonna pull this together. All right, so we're gonna figure this out. White laughing cow cheese wedges. 4 times 5. Okay. So that's a lot. There's 8 of them in here. We're going to trust the process. Yep. Okay. All of this, and now I'm feeling like, oh man, I would really like some sugar-free almond milk about right now. Okay, so again, they have Glucki, which I don't have. I am using xanthan gum, and it does say to put all this together and blend until completely creamified. So we're gonna go for it. And I'm thinking we'll be doing this in 2 batches. Let me see, chili powder. And I am just switching out. I'm not using quite as much as I would if I had the almond milk, but I am just putting some water in there because this okra has to have something to help it in life. So I did 1.5 cups of water in this batch. Say we like adventure around here. Let's see how this goes. All right, I don't know if the THM sisters will be proud or not, but I think we have achieved the level of blending the soul out of the okra. And this looks pretty thick and creamy, so I think we've achieved that. That was the goal. We're gonna pour this in our Mega Mama bowl there and then do another batch and get this in the oven. All righty, we can add that to our life list, blended soul out of okra. Okay. So there we go. And they did say that when this is done baking, there will be some liquid that we will need to pour off. So that is good to know. So again, we've replaced the sugar-free almond milk with water, and I did not do the full amount, and I'm not using quite as many like Laughing Cow cheeses as called for per the mega multiplication, but that's because I also need light Laughing Cow cheese for other things I'm eating this week, but I'm using 16 of them, so that's good. I believe I hit the seasonings pretty well with our first batch, so this is just going to be the water, the light Laughing Cow cheese, which is like a cream cheese, and the okra in this. Oh, I guess I should do a little bit more salmon. Everything's fine. My Vitamix decided it needed a break. That's all that's happening right now. Okay, it's gonna be okay. It has needed a break before, and I've given it one, and then next time I turn it on, it works just fine. So that's what's gonna happen now. So I couldn't quite blend the soul out of this last batch of okra, but it's pretty good. So let's mix it up and see if it wants to cooperate, okay? It's gonna be okay. We're good, we're good. We're so good. This okra is for the meatloaf situation that we're going to tackle next. And okay, so now is put this in 9x13s and then sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. Probably just need to use a measuring cup to scoop that out. This looks good. I'm overflowing my blender plus a pan that did have meatballs in it. That needs to be washed. Okay, one pan down. Let's see, I don't know whether this will be 3 or 4. It looks like it'll be more than 2. Again, their original recipe is for 1 8x8 pan. But their recipes are, you know, I've been scaling them up and down, no problem. So, no matter what your family size is, when you get the starter book for these recipes, you will see it's easy to accommodate. Okay. Left. I'm going to see if I have my precious little loaf pan over here. Okay, we got it. Look, we can be sensible. What is this? 5x9. Precious. So when you get your book, know that I ×5 this recipe, left out the sugar-free almond milk, and actually cut back some of the light Laughing Cow cheese. Blended the sole out of 1 batch of okra. 3/4 of the way blended the sole out of the 2nd batch. And now we're going to get these in the oven. And it does say you can top with it or not, and you know. We like all the cheese options around here. This is just a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. So we are gonna put these in the oven. Let's see. I thought I had a rack that was slipping. Hold on. I might need to adjust my very hot oven racks real quick. The other day something was slipping off of somewhere. Ouch. Let me burn myself first. Okay. Well, stuck. There we go. We can do it, can't we? Good. Okay. So these go in for about the temperature they said is 365, okay. And it's for 30 to 40 minutes. So while those are going, we are going to get going on, let's see how many times I can say the word going, the meatloaf. And hopes and dreams, the sun is still shining, it's early in the afternoon. I have several, this is some additional meal prep for the coming week. I have several jars of potatoes. I would like to go ahead and cook up, do like some Parmesan potatoes in the big skillet for the kids. I also have several bags of radishes that we can roast, and I wanted to prep some sweet potatoes. So that's kind of my plan as we continue rolling this afternoon. We'll get the meatloaf in the oven next, and then prep some of these side items for the coming week that'll go with different meals that we're also cooking up. And this is the aftermath of the THM cooking. Lots of good stuff, always lots of fun ingredients. Okay, and I took out queso bakes, and I'm trying to get going on the meatloaf, and I'm hungry. And I'm like, oh wait, I have food ready. So I'm just going to scoop myself out some to eat. But I smell like an onion. And then we'll do the meatloaf. I've also been outside to pull a toddler in a wagon and do several other things. Yay. Alrighty, so we're about to go reel off the rails here. It'll be fun with this meatloaf. The way that their recipe is in the starter book, it's 4.5 pounds of meat, and we have 13 pounds of defrosted ground beef. But that is good. because meatloaf is one of those things that everybody loves around here. And let's see, I didn't really want to wash this bowl at this moment, but I do need to see. And my egg whites were accidentally put in the freezer. So I've been defrosting them. So we have that for this recipe. And I really wanted to use, I could have used one of the 30-quart bowls, but I wanted to use this other bowl. I have the ground beef in. So we will just wash all the things. You probably can't hear me. Okay. We'll wash all the things here real quick. We'll get ready to get going on this. These things out of the way. These are our other side item hopes and dreams. That's out too. Okay. Okay, so the blender has come back to life. That is very nice. I always appreciate that. I have all of our ingredients here. Our egg whites cooperated. We got our onions chopped. Now in their recipe that you'll see in the starter book, they do talk about putting a small amount of ground beef in a food processor with some of the onion and the okra. And again, we're off the rails already. Let me find, there's my scissors. But let's get the okra going in Vitamix, and we will go from there. This is all filed under Jamerrill going off the rails. Okay, now lid. Alrighty, so happy trails off the rails. Our adventure will continue. Now, Trim Healthy Mama folks have its Trim Healthy Naturals, Trim Healthy Mama Baking Blend. We're using this as one of the binders in this meatloaf, and we will also use this for a lot of their desserts that we're gonna make. I do think I have to tweak what dessert I was going to do in this video because of the out of sugar-free almond milk situation, but we're going to make one of my absolute favorites that I haven't made in quite a while. But anywho, focusing on the meatloaf. So let's see here. So off the rails with our amount of ground beef. Now I'm just going to put in this okra and say prayers because it's gonna all be great. And the sleeves on this dress haven't bothered me until now. We'll see how that goes. Put in our tomato paste. I did go ahead and get my watch and my bracelets off. Prepping ahead. Okay, so hello. A whole lot of onion. I'm already thinking maybe we should have used the 30-quart bowl. Okay, and then baking blend. And the baking blend it's oat fiber, organic coconut flour, golden flax meal, collagen peptides, natural almond flour, and konjac extract powder. Contains almonds and coconut. It is also gluten-free, which is nice. So when I bake up many of the desserts over time here, gluten-free folks can enjoy them as well. And it says in the back, muffins, biscuits, pancake waffles, cakes and breads, gluten-free, GMO-free, excellent source of fiber. So anyway, I get, see, this is the 48 ounce. So yeah, I usually get maybe 3 of these bags at a time, and I just got a new shipment in of those. Okay, mineral salt and pepper. Go this way. Okay, eyeballing the amount of pepper. Eyeballing the amount of salt, and then garlic. Come on, garlic. Excuse me while I just dump some in, because you know that's how we roll. And this would be about half a cup. And then we also have nutritional yeast that we're going to put in. Also about half a cup. Also, how's this going to go? Going pretty well. pretty well. Okay, okay. I have 3 9x13 pans. I have no idea how many this will fill, so we're about to find out. And then we're gonna mix up, hello, there's the ice maker dropping ice. We're going to mix up, what do they use? Now I'm reading you another part. Tomato paste, the prepared mustard, gentle sweet, which is one of their wonderful sweeteners that they sell. I don't have that, but I have some knockoff monk fruit brown sugar substitute, and apple cider vinegar, a little bit of water. We're gonna put that in a bowl and whisk it up, and that's gonna be our glaze for the top. Low brown sugar. I also like they have these little hydrate packs. Cutie ice maker. You put them in your water, it's like electrolytes and deliciousness. I have not gotten those recently, but I have ordered those from them several times. And they are just very nice. Okay, am I missing anything else? I don't think so. well, this is sad. I have a whole box of the Truvia packets, but this is all I have left of my brown sugar, monk fruit sweetener. I don't have any other sweetener, and I don't have their particular gentle sweet blend. So anyway, I've added more monk fruit. My Walmart grocery pickup order for in the morning. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get any desserts done in this video, but let's go prep some side items because we can do that while the meatloaf is cooking. And we have all of those queso cakes. We can also get in little happy containers, like the Bob Ross of YouTube Mega Food happy containers, and we will, those really need to go. We get with these. Fulfill their destiny. So we are going to roast these, and then they will be prepped for a few days. Roasted radishes taste like a mild little potato, and I like eating them with all kinds of things. And when I have them prepped in the fridge, they are easy to keep through for months whenever I need them, and I will even have them with my breakfast. So we're gonna wash these and trim them up here, roll them in some olive oil, do some salt, pepper, probably garlic powder, and get them in the oven. the radishes are prepped, and I have some red minced garlic salt here. And that's what else I am going to sprinkle on. And then we will get these roasting in the oven. It does take a few minutes to prep them, so it's just always good to put a podcast on, put some music on, and get through prepping them. Alrighty, so I have a bag of sweet potatoes, and since we have a lot of things we are prepping, so I'm going to do these sweet potatoes, not as bad though, in the Instant Pot. You know, I have 57 people to feed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 that will have a sweet potato. Potentially, sometimes there's only 2 that will have a sweet potato. So I'm just going to do this 1 6-pound bag. We're going to roast these canned potatoes here in a moment. Also, we're going to do some Parmesan potatoes and a cast iron. Just bring my pot over. But this will give some options. Refrigerator. These will be eaten with dinner tonight, which we did more of those cheap hamburgers this afternoon, and we have enough left to eat dinner. So we will have cheeseburgers, hamburgers, whatever kind of burger you like, and these roasted potatoes. But this makes it easy to do fried potatoes when you use your canned potatoes. Everyone at my house loves this. So we'll have a bunch tonight, and we'll see if there's any left for tomorrow. grocery pickup list order, picking it up in the morning, is also some freezer tape. There's my microwave timer. Is it gonna be, okay. It's some freezer tape, and so on these smaller, like normal size little containers that I'm using this go around, I'm going to just put some freezer tape and label it that way, and that will help me keep my freezer organized. Now I'm gonna make some plates with burgers and roasted potatoes, or, I mean, we have 4 giant meatloaves here, so I'm actually gonna have some meatloaf and some roasted radishes. There's options, yay. Here's my mama dinner. I got my meatloaf and my roasted radishes, and I am happy. Well, good afternoon, friends. Got my little, I just got some liquid in my eye. Got my little afternoon iced coffee from McDonald's. Oh, let me show you this. Hold on. Part of what we got done today, that was in my tire. It's not my tire anymore, so that's nice. I was wondering why I slowly was losing air. Anyway, yay for answers. We like answers in life. School is done, day is done, Legos are happening. We are going to make those 3 dozen trimtastic cupcakes, and I need to wash out my silicone muffin cupcake liner pans. I'm resisting the urge to call them tins. They're not, they're made of silicone. We're going to do that. Then I also, so my daily little Walmart grocery pickup order, I got freezer tape. Also, I can show you, yay. I was thinking, how am I gonna label all those little containers? So we got freezer tape. You know, whenever I do like the 9x13 or the 10x15 pans, we just write on the foil and such, but with these containers, we're gonna do a lot of freezer tapes to label things. I'm gonna show it all to ya. We're doing the things. So anyway, we will just get these washed up. I pulled them out of the cabinet and I was like, yeah, these need a little wash. So then we will make our cupcakes. Alrighty, so we're gonna get a bowl going for this. I had to brought up another box of eggs. I think I've got all our ingredients out, but as I said, I did pick up our sweetener. I also did get sugar-free almond milk. I'm going to just use that in my next video though. I use that for all kinds of things. If you were looking for some recommendations, they have this Pristine Whey protein powder, and the cookies and cream, I ordered it, excuse me, got hair in my eyes. I ordered this one because they were out of their other flavors, but this is delicious. I have one of these every day. It's fantastic. And then also they have this, it's an unflavored protein powder, but there's lots of recipes you can use that in as well. That's just sitting in my slow cookers because that's where it should be. All right, so in this recipe, and like I had shared, I will link different variations for you down below. I'm just realizing how it looks like I took a shower while I washed those silicone liners. Anyway, this recipe you can use with zucchini, and you can also use it with canned pumpkin. And so this is a 29-ounce can. We're also putting in eggs, egg whites, butter, their baking blend that I shared about yesterday. Let's see, gentle sweet, but we are going to use monk fruit. Thank you, Walmart, for saving the day. Aluminum-free baking powder, vanilla extract. They say stevia extract. I don't have any of that. Baking soda, some salt, some cocoa powder, and then we're also going to do a homemade sugar-free icing for this. That is also delicious. So we're gonna jump right in. Alrighty, so I got our pumpkin. And I think I have always used pumpkin in this. I mean, maybe once or twice I've done the grated, shredded down zucchini, but pumpkin has just always been easy to come by and open a can for. And for the triple batch that I'm doing of this, it's just one of these, and that makes that nice. And you can do it in cake form or cupcake form. The cupcakes, let's see here. The cupcakes are done quicker, so that's why I've always gone for them. Okay, and then we'll do our eggs. And then we have a cup and a half of egg whites. Still a little ice in there from where these got defrosted. Nice little bonus ice chips. Might end up having exactly a cup and a half defrosted. Oh, come on, you can do it. $16 ounces, but when it's frozen. Okay. Come on, I know your egg whites in those ice chips. No problems here, no problems. Okay, and then butter. So, it is just mixing it together. Okay. So, butter. It doesn't say to soften, but I'm going to butter. And the mystery of where is my other mixer still continues. It's just gone now. That's what I'm thinking is disappeared into the vortex. Alrighty, so get our baking blend going. And the way I'm doing this, it's 2 1/4 cups of baking blend. Jamerrill does YouTube, dig through the drawer, right? Okay. And then 2 1/4 cups of, they call for gentle sweet, which again, you can order from them, and I have before. And I just did an order with them, and I got the protein powders that I showed you and the baking blend, and I'm trying to think what else I got. I think that might have been it. But I got 3 of those big bags of the baking blend, because when I get doing their baking projects, I go through a lot. But like I say, it is gluten-free. My folks enjoy it. Okay, so we got 2 and 4. And our vanilla. Boy, we've got some homemade vanilla down in the basement, haven't we? Yes, we do. Baking powder. And it's just a couple pinches of mineral salt, so just throw that in. And now a lot of cocoa powder. Alrighty, so we were able to get 3.5 dozen. We got a bonus half dozen there of those Trim-tastic cupcakes. Those are in the oven. Now I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to work on labeling all those other freezer meals that are currently in my refrigerator. I need to actually get them in the freezer today, but I'm going to show them all to you first. Okay, so I almost forgot the best part, which is this delicious icing. And it is heavy cream, and it is sweetener, and it is cocoa powder, and there's lots of variations online with this too. I got 1.5 cups of cream, and that is all the heavy cream in this house. When I get cooking and filming, it seems like lately I need heavy cream. So I best get some more in my Walmart delivery truck, right? And then I've got 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Wash this spoon real quick, it'll be easier. We are low on kitchen towels around here. It will be a laundry folding evening to refill our drawers. And so whenever you get your Trim Healthy Starter book, this recipe is on page 155. And it is nice and sensible. It's for a dozen cupcakes or one 8x8 cake. Problems, random stool in the kitchen, right? Sorry, extra pots need put away. They do not live here. Ouch, 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 ouch. I'm just assuming that bottom one needs to go to the top for a few minutes. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so they're boiling hot, but I'm hungry. So I'm eating them. Tobin's eating one. His is cut. It's cooled a little bit, but mine are not, but they're so good. These are little pieces that fell. So, what? 3.5 dozen will go quick. I guess that's my point. These will not go in the freezer because we are eating them quickly. So we should have made 6 dozen if I was going to actually have a few days worth of these. They're that delicious and they're that popular at my house. So at least they're healthy and sugar-free, right? Yum! So here we are. We have packaged up our well over 40 Easy, healthy, and delicious freezer meals, mostly using the Trim Healthy starter book that I will link down in the comments below. And I will also link other appropriate recipes that I did as we find them online. I have found several of them, but be sure to get the book too, because I'm going to do several videos cooking up these delicious and healthy meals for the freezer. I think that you will find all of these recipes are very enjoyable. So I am using the freezer tape that I got to just take a few minutes. I think it took me less than 15 minutes. So I like to set the timer on my watch just to time these little tasks. I like to know how long things take me. And if I set my timer for 10 or 15 minutes, it's kind of like a little challenge. Like, okay, this looks like a lot, labeling these 40 meals, but I know I can get this done pretty quickly. Let's just do it. And so I am looking at the page numbers and I'm writing down whether they are an S meal or an E meal. As I say, these meals are sugar-free. Many of them are gluten-free. Their baking powder is also gluten-free if that's what you need. We also prepped several pounds of sweet potatoes and roasted radishes and made the 3.5 dozen trim-tastic cupcakes, which I can report from the future that those were definitely gone within 2 days. Folks of all ages and stages loved those, and I liked having them ready to go too. Like I said, I only wish that I had done 6 dozen, so maybe another time we will do that. But here's all our meals that are going in the freezer, and these will make for helpful convenience lunches. Many of these are packaged in a way, so there's definitely 2 to 3 servings at least. So we got well over 100 servings in this massive from scratch freezer cooking. I hope that you enjoyed this massive freezer cooking video and all these days that we went through all of these projects. This will certainly be helpful for my real mama life, having these lunches and dinners in the freezer ready to go. My future self and the future selves of my house full of folks are already saying thank you. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I will see you real soon with another brand new video. Bye-bye.